His journey was like my grandfather's journey out of Lithuania or my other grandfather's journey out of the Ukraine. Someone who wanted to better themselves, who saw the United States as just a step below heaven. You know, there's this great scene in the movie where he goes, heaven's here and America's here. And America's where God sends all of his favorite people. And, you know, I wrote that line, but I took it right out of Bennett's mouth. And, and he followed that journey. And as I was saying before, his desire was merely to just be a citizen, tell the truth, do his job well, contribute to society. The collision of who Mike Webster was, a Pittsburgh god, with Bennet Omalu, a nobody, but with a vast imagination and an insatiable hunger for knowledge and for solving the unsolvable puzzle. The collision of those two things, and also probably central to this was the fact that Bennett was not American and not white and not from Pittsburgh, because someone who was all those things probably wouldn't have cut up Mike Webster's body. They probably would have just buried him out of respect. So it was a magical combination that elicited this unforeseen result that eventually ended up taking on America's greatest pastime. I wrote this movie for Will. There was never anybody else in my mind, from the first word to the last word. And partly because Bennett is such a complex, joyful intellect, so is Will. He's all those things. You know, the thing that Bennett is that Will's not is awkward, you know, and I'll tell you, Will and I worked very hard on a number of elements to bring this character to life. One was his accent. We worked for 3 months on his accent. But also Will's an enormously gifted physical comic and athlete and actor, and he was able to inhabit Bennett's awkwardness and strangeness, and you know, people are going to watch this film and not recognize for a while that it's Will at all. You know, people who've seen this film, they say they go through the first 10 minutes of the movie and don't even recognize him. And partly it's because we changed him physically in superficial ways, but mostly because, you know, I think this character tapped into something in Will that he didn't even know was there. And the performance is so honest and truthful and powerful that I think Will is almost unrecognizable even to himself. Writing and making a feature film is not making a documentary. You know, I'm not picking up a camera and filming a real person. You have an idea, you have the words, and then you have an actor. And somewhere in the collision of all those things is your character. And that character doesn't have to be a one-to-one correspondence with the real person if it is a real person. It has to represent what's spiritually true. It has to be truthy. It has to be true enough. And then you have to take that version and allow it to sort of pass through an actor so that it becomes Will Smith's version of Bennet Omalu. If Will just aped Bennett or just copied Bennett, it would be awkward and weird and frankly off-putting, you know. But Will made his version of Bennet Omalu, and I did that with every character and every actor did it. It's a partnership, you know, with the performers, and it's a pact, it's a contract with them for them to trust me enough to guide them to the most interesting and authentic, and it doesn't have to be exactly like them. The love story element of this movie was crucial because Bennett was an incomplete man. And I have this personal theory that warriors in particular, can only be successful warriors if they have the right queen at home waiting for them and supporting them. And in some ways, Prima provided the last puzzle piece that Bennett needed to be reminded of just what a warrior he was. And so it wasn't just a cute love story, and Gugu Mbatha-Raw is crazily effervescent and beautiful to watch, and she's remarkable in the film. That love story had a simplicity to it on the page that I knew was going to come alive in performance and between the chemistry between Will and whoever it was. It turned out to be Gugu, who was perfect. But without Bennett, Gugu's incomplete. Without Gugu or Prima, Bennett is incomplete. And they needed that sort of alchemy that was born out of their coming together, created the ability for both to go on and to become the best version of themselves. I want the audiences to see this film and come away with a sense of courage to do good work, to stay true to your plan, and to tell the truth. And the consequences are not up to you. You know, if you do what you're meant to do on this planet, and you do it well, and you stay true to your own mission, the consequences take care of themselves. You know, Bennet Omalu is really one of the most courageous, beautiful souls I've ever come across as a storyteller.